Discovery, go at throttle up.
All right, dudes. Let's see if we can get some space news. All right. Let me find that NASA spaceflight video. Okay. Alright. Scene. I know, Monica. I'm getting the links all ready to go. We have Boca Chica road closures for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Hope you're doing okay. Dead inside? Yeah, I'm doing fine. Huh. Hey, Saul, what's going on? Huh? Okay. There really isn't much today, guys. We do have a couple of things, actually. There's the flight readiness review at 6 for Crew 2, which is useful. Ooh, that's useful. So I don't know if we're gonna cover it necessarily. They don't usually stream the FRRs, so SpaceX got some new trespassing measures. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the Raptors are loose. Alright. More links will trickle in as we go. Hey, PY, what's up, man? I'm looking around for more stuff. I have the commercial crew stuff. We covered that yesterday, T-Man. Draco, what else do we got? Oh, we got Billy news. Cool.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Interesting, Ryan. 10, space. Cool. Oh, Force, we don't need to worry about that. We don't need to worry about that. Let me go check Roscosmos' YouTube, see if there's anything over there. Squishin, so today I was just doing an online space camp for work and used KSP as a tool to illustrate rockets to the students. It went really great. They loved the explosions, but also learned how not to explode. Nice. Roundabout, what's up, man? Oh, I gotta change the time. I gotta change the directory. Hold on. There really isn't much today, guys. Like, actually isn't. I'm still looking around. We'll start off with NASA spaceflight footage here, I suppose. Let's see what we got. We got 21 minute video here, and we'll see what we can see. Ingenuity is not flown yet, no. MS-17 returns home in about 30 hours. Cool, cool. Oh, I'll have to check that one out, Thomas. Okay. So this is an SPMT. It's moving a barrel segment over, but I don't know what it is. Hang on. Hang on a second. Wait for it. Wait for it. BN1 scrap section. Got it.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Subaru. Subaru. Saichi, 7-month resub. Thanks, man. Subaru. Subaru, that sounds like an EJ25 or an EJ20. It's got that Subaru tuba being molested sound. Subaru. All day. Sorry. They're putting the cap on the simulator here. Was looking at old Mark III Supras yesterday. Mark IIIs are cool. You gotta be careful, Jalal, with the head gasket on those motors. The Mark III Supra has a 7MGE engine in it. 7MG engines are good. They're the predecessor to the 2J. But those 7MGEs are notorious for blowing head gaskets. Toyota skimped on the head gaskets on those things. So if you take the thing apart and you replace it with an MLS head gasket, you'll be fine. The thing's tight, man. Tight. Nah, Ismic, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that to you. Yes, it's very tight. You're tight like a tiger. Yes, I can tell from your tight pants. Huh. Huh? Huh. You want that cool sports car to pick up all the non-American chicks at university? Wait, what? Is that a Supra? Nice, Hellfish. Alright. They brought the stand back. Wonder why there's so many Teslas there. Yeah, I know, right? It's so weird. They don't have the grid to do it, Shaw. Not enough infrastructure there yet. No, Wii Sports, I don't know if that's the nose cone for 16. I don't think so. I think that's 12's leftover nose cone. I think. It was 12's nose cone. Yep, yep. Oh, fish. Savage. Okay. Oh, yeah, there When's your next explosion? Next week, dude. Next week. Oof, oh, Forza. Oof.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
So they're looking to get the thrust simulator out of there. We should be seeing a Raptor install sometime this week, I think. Tourniquet, 33 months. I'm really curious to see what they do with that thing. What are the landing legs on SN15 like? Anesthesis, they're inside of the engine skirt and they actually flop out. They're similar to the previous ones from what I understand. Hopefully a tad improved. Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, it is nice. It's right. There's a little baby crawler crane. Look at that thing. It's a little baby. Using. I wonder when they're gonna move the other GSE tank out there. Now that's not a baby crane. But that's clearly not the biggest crane that you can get. Bolshoi Chunguska. '15 has the newer ones, Lava. Tent 3 expansion complete. Truck's bringing in some COPVs over there for the attitude control systems for Starship. I think it's fine, Ozzy. It's minimal damage, whatever it is. Factory SN2 was removed from the test stand a few days ago, giving them issues. Interesting. So weird that they just scrapped BN1. Yeah, it's it is what it be. I think BN1's design was outdated by the time they were ready to go. I'm not sure if that's rusting around the welds or just... Yeah. Interesting. They got pendants right there. Huh. You have the Half-Life song stuck in your head? Oof. I think you said it was most likely a dynamic test stand, so why the black header tank? That's just a cap at the top to be able to push down on it, dude. I'm not 100% sure. It's weird, man. Huh. Dodge. Whammons. Construction workers. Look at that angle iron. Some big angle iron right there. What's that, Thomas? NASA LSP adds Vulcan to NASA's Launch Services 2 NLS Indefinite Delivery Indefinite Quantity contract in accordance with the on-ramp provisions of NLS 2. Huh. Okay. Huh. How long did it take SpaceX to get a fully reliable Merlin? I mean, not, let's see. 2002, they started with the Merlin 1A. And I'd say by like 2010, 2011, it was pretty damn good. But, they did change a lot of things around. But the important thing that, I mean, to really dial it in and get it to the point that it's at now, I would say from like 2002 to like 2015 to get the Merlins as reliable as they are. That's like the full development cycle. They don't iterate much on the Merlins anymore from what I understand. Maybe some tweaks here and there. I wouldn't count the Falcon 1 years. I mean, because there was the Merlin 1A, there was the Merlin 1C, and then there's the Merlin 1D. Development of the Merlin 1D first came around with Falcon 9. So if we want to go by that logic, Falcon 9 came on the books in like 2009, started flying in like 2010, and then by 2015 they had it pretty much figured out. So okay, let's say like 7 years. 7 years from like nothing to like Falcon 9 Block 5, right? Raptors, we first saw hardware for Raptors in 2017, 2018, somewhere around there. I mean, the ideas for Raptors go back at SpaceX go back as early as 2016, from what I understand. So if we really want to play that game, 2016, we're in 2021 right now. So a couple, like, I don't know, maybe like another year or two before they really figure it out. You got to remember that Raptor is, but then again, they're mass producing the engines, and also they know already about rocket engines this time. SpaceX, Elon and those guys literally learned from scratch. I mean, they didn't, but yeah, K-Mir, I'm talking about seeing like a full-fledged prototype. If we want to go back to just hearing SpaceX test this, and this, yeah, 2015. I mean, like, it's hard to judge that because Raptor is so much more complicated. First full-size prototype was that IAC 2016. Yeah, that's right. Raptor SM1 was the beginning of 2019. Give them another year, I'd say. What do you guys think? Just given all the information that you guys are talking about, give them another year. Another year, they'll have that thing. They'll have that thing working real well. I'd say a year to work out all the bugs. I mean, SpaceX works quick, dude. They work real quick. Do you know, or can you explain how they proceed with the version numbers or letters? Like how much they change? Dave's, that is entirely up to the people that are designing it, dude. There's no standardized nomenclature for version number. Rockets sometimes use the block system, which comes from nautical design, or SpaceX uses the version system because SpaceX is from software, so it's version 1, version 2, version 3. It really comes down to the designers. Have you seen the dev diaries? No, but I'll have to check that out. This is the propellant production site here. I found Humpty Dumpty's hat. Nice Millers. Alright, let's go over here. Yep, they're shielding. They're shielding those welds, Ferd. They're shielding the welds right there. Because it's windy. Ferd. You got a compressor out there on this trailer. Pretty nice one. Dazzler. 4BN1. Raptor News goes back to at least 2013.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Interesting. Interesting, Novus. That's funny that they tested Stennis. Hey, Tech. 18-month resub. Not reading that. Oh, they added the pipes to the GSE-2 tank. It's nice. Raptor was initially supposed to be a hydrogen upper stage engine for Falcon 9. Yeah, the Air Force paid SpaceX to look at developing a Raptor-powered upper stage. Yeah, I got you. See the 2021 Ford Raptors, but no, but they come with 37s out of the box? Cool. Is that... That's not photoshopped or anything, is it? Is that the truck left though from what you guys are saying? Oh, I'm sorry, that's funny as hell. Now I want chicken. They have added lines on the nose cone stand and it connects to the piston inside the LOX header tank. Huh. I don't know, Swagger. Only fabrication partner is an architectural sign shop. Pretty much, oh snap. I think that's what's going on. The large chicken. Oh my goodness. Really, you don't watch Chick-fil-A? Hey, it's good, man. Huh. Popeyes is better? Yeah. SPMT, followed by a Ferd. Poor BN1. Bye-bye. To the junkyard. Such blasphemy in chat. Yeah, these people are going to hell, Grits. Don't you take the Lord's chicken in vain. How dare you? SPMTs are cool. Little boy, you're going to hell. Ferd. Super Duty. I mean, probably, Jim. Alright, well, that's the video coming from NASA Spaceflight for today. Let's see, what else do we got here? I got another video for you for the next bit of space news here. This is coming from Launcher. Launcher's did their first test on their turbo pump. First of many to come on our way to orbit. 3D printed, high performance for closed cycle, and being tested at NASA Stennis E-Complex, sponsored by the Air Force Spurter program. Alright, let's see what we got. Hey, that's nice. Cool. So they got the power pack right there, and then the dump from the power pack. This would be going into the rocket engine and then exploding. Cool. I'll check that out in a second, Panta. That's awesome. So another small startup here. Launcher is developing the world's most efficient satellites to orbit. There we go. I'm not sure if that power pack is flight hardware, but it's definitely a good demonstrator. All right. Cantor, what do you have? Oh.
When we set out to democratize access to space, we started with launch. We wanted to make it easy for small satellites to get to orbit faster and more frequently, and to do it on their terms.
Babby rocket.
So we built a rocket unlike any other. One that could be built and launched not within months or years, but in days.
Cool, look at the mandrel.
Can be recovered and then launched again.
Yeah!
A rocket that puts small satellites in control of their own mission. Electron changed the way we access space. But launch was only ever the beginning. We streamlined satellites too, making it easier to use space as a platform for innovation,
look at the little baby rocket engine,
and infrastructure. Turning possibility into capability on orbit.
Dude.
The satellites we build and launch are keeping countries connected and borders protected. They're monitoring weather and managing waste. They're providing insights on climate change and helping us manage resources for generations to come. Space holds the key to our future. It's where we'll innovate and how we'll provide vital services to billions of people down here on Earth. It's how we'll connect with each other. How we'll better understand our own planet and monitor our impact on it. It's how we'll uncover new worlds and how we'll deepen our understanding of the universe and our place in it. Space is now open for business.
Well then, pretty cool. I don't think we saw any particular new shots in there, but it was still cool. All right. Okay, we got the launcher stuff. Mary took a picture down at the build site today. Going back over to SpaceX News real quick. Take a look.
Discovery, go and
Nice,
throttle up.
Sawyer. Or nice, Jackery. Sawyer, what's that? That's okay. That site's literally AIDS, though. Is Rocket Lab building a Falcon competitor? No. It's more of an Antares competitor, if anything. Ah. Is that Greg? Greg's in here? Tim got an interview with Peter Beck. Check it out if you have the time. I've seen it. Well, seen parts of it. Boxy, seen parts. Greg! What's up, man? Did you watch the Masters, dude? Did Matsuyama pull that out, or what? Can you believe that? Can you believe that, man? Can you believe that? Can you believe that? You guys know my buddy Econ Greg. You like doing you like astronomy streams. Greg's your guy. He's also, in his own words, and forgive me for being a little bit inappropriate, not a chode. Greg, president accounted for. Oh, you were there. Oh. Well then. Masters was great. I didn't get to watch much of it, Joe, but I know Matsuyama won. You know? You know how I found out? Soichi Noguchi tweeted about it, and I saw it in my feed. And I'm like, oh yeah, I should go watch the Masters. Yep, that's how that happened. It was a good tournament, from what I understand. That course is tough, dude. Augusta's like a mini golf course, but with real golf. Masters is golf, right? Yep. In Augusta, Georgia. That track, Greg, will just punish you if you make a mistake. If you screw up. You try to get greedy on that course? Nah, hell no. Nope. Out of bounds. Nope. Water hazard. Nope. Sand trap. Very happy for a deck. Yeah, hell yeah, man. That's cool. Good for him. I thought Spieth would come in strong here, but nope. Guess not. Used to play Golf Builder? Golf's fun, man. Another sources say, what is this? Sources report that the nomination of Pam Melroy by the White House to be Deputy Administrator of NASA will be announced tomorrow. Pam Melroy is a shuttle pilot. I've talked to her before, Thomas. She's cool. Yeah, I talked to her before. Me and NASA Man, actually. Yeah, we've talked to her. She's pretty cool. It's this thing. It's like if you piloted the shuttle, you just kind of, she's kind of like, yeah, I'm pretty awesome, and you're like, yeah, you are. That's actually what I talked to her about when I talked to her. She probably wouldn't remember though. It was very brief. No, Jack, I haven't seen it. Actually, Bill Nelson with Pam Melroy at his side. I don't hate that. I really don't hate that. That's actually not that bad. That's not that bad of a... That's not that, dude. That's actually not bad. If you're still looking for space news stuff and haven't seen any, check out the last tweet from Joe. You got to work on it. You're working with Joe, Rocky? Wait. Rocky, we watched that launch. Well, I didn't watch it. I watched it, but I didn't watch it on stream. I'm okay with that, Fistus. Not for the deputy administrator, Hellfish. That's Bill's job. Jim Morehard was not a politician. And that was Jim's right-hand man. No, the deputy administrator needs to be able to take what the NASA administrator does, and they're the intermediary between the NASA administrator and the mission director it leads. So, yeah, that's basically vice president of NASA. Basically, well, yeah, it's vice president. That's the right way to say it. Hey, Randy, what's up, man? I think you probably watched Lumineer. This was a Control V, another rocket launched on the same day, but without a live stream. Oh, all right. Well, let's see. Let's see what we got. You worked on this one, Rocky? Did it blow up? Hello! Okay. Yeah, fly! Oh, that's freaking sick. Yeah, I did it. No, it did not. Look at it go. There she goes. How much TWR do you want? Yes. That's sick, dude. Good job. Alright, I'm gonna head out. See ya! Why do I find that so funny? It's just like, nah, I'm gone. Pam was on the transition team for the executive branch for NASA stuff. How much TWR do you want? Yes. That's awesome, dude. Good stuff. Yeah, no, that was in real time, Randy, right? Yeah. You should totally do the model rocket stuff you talked about yesterday. Draco, the industry is very, 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 very heavily regulated. There is a reason why.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
There's a good reason, and don't get me wrong, I understand. There's a reason why you don't, there's a reason why people aren't building rockets that come down and land. Yeah, there's a very good reason why that's not a thing. So unless I was, say, getting into the business of small sat launching, yeah, it's not, it's not, that might not be in the cards, but I'll keep looking and seeing what I can find. Plus, Fridays have been the days news comes out about higher-up stuff at NASA, right? Nelson's nomination happened on a Friday. And the budget preview as well, right? Yeah, maybe. All right. Anyway, so NASA Watch is saying that Pam Melroy could potentially be deputy administrator with Bill Nelson up at the front. Interesting. I mean, see, like, here's the thing, guys. Like, okay, here's where I'm at, and this is just me talking. So if people disagree with this, I haven't really like fleshed this out too much. I'm literally coming up with not a hypothesis, but this is just verbal diarrhea, if you will. I don't think Bill Nelson is that bad of a pick, to be honest with you. I really don't think he's the worst. You know why? Because I know he's going to fight for the National Space Program. He's going to fight for NASA, and he's going to fight for in-house stuff. Now, I know what people are going to say. It's going to be, it's just Congress, jobs program. I've heard that all before. I get it. I want someone to fight for NASA because I truly believe that you need to have a healthy commercial market for space and a healthy private market for space. I've cited this many times. I won't talk your ear off on it. Basically, I see rockets as a means of transportation, and in that regard, it's a logistics service. NASA has called it a logistics service in the past, right? So if it's a logistics service, that means it works like the post office. But we have the post office, and we have FedEx and UPS. There's a bunch of commercial package movers and commercial logistics, right? And then there's also the post office, and they both find symbiosis with each other, and each one of them brings something to the table, right? I think that that's the right move to do with space as well. What I'm kind of like about is, and I've been thinking about it, and I want this to happen, but it's like, it's weird. I don't want it to happen too much, Like, I don't want the scale to tip too far in the way of commercial, and I don't want it to tip too far in the way over here to a national program. You know what I mean? And man, I don't mind the pick. I really don't. You know, he's fought for NASA in the past. He was senator from Florida. He represented the Space Coast. Like, he's flown on the damn shuttle. It's not a bad pick. Straight up. I really don't give a crap what anybody says. It's not bad. What I'm worried about is him stifling SpaceX or any other commercial provider. I'm worried about that. But I honestly, I can say pretty reasonably that that's kind of just like, it's one of those things. Like, that could be a thing. So that's why I kind of mention it. But, I mean, we had our doubts about Jim. Look how that turned out. So, you know, if I give... And man, the way I see it is that you got to call it fair. If I was willing to give Jim a chance, I'm willing to give Bill a chance. Sure. Speaking of that, his confirmation meeting is the 21st. Senate Commerce Committee will hold a confirmation hearing for Bill Nelson's nomination to be NASA administrator on April 21st at 10 a.m. I'm probably gonna watch it. I probably won't watch it on stream. I'll be honest with you guys. I probably won't watch it on stream. I just hope that he would fight for the adaptive new space era. Yeah, Rocket Guy, I heard you talking about it, and I get what you're saying. That makes sense. I know, Jonas, right? Yeah, it's such a crap argument, dude. Ugh. Gross. When you selected one-day shipping at 11:59 p.m., USPS sounding rocket. Proud. Mank. No, I agree. Nelson has shown to the Senate that he truly cares about NASA. I mean, Joe, if you've flown up into space, you friggin' get it, dude. I don't care if he flew up there as like a publicity stunt, which basically he did. He's, what did they give him the job title? Like mission specialist? That means you're just hitching a ride. Hey, you know what? Doesn't matter. Still flew into space. That means nothing. He heard about NASA to the point where he wanted to transfer funding from commercial crew to SLS. I mean, Kamer, yeah, that's true. But do we know the reason why? And that's an honest question. That's an honest question. Like, do we know why? Did SLS need the funding? I mean, I don't know. Yeah, Joe, I you know what? Like, this could be good, man. Could be good for us. Key answer is Florida. So, came here. Okay, I have a question. What? And came here. I mean this respectfully. What's your point? What's your point? No, Willie, I wish. Have you done Starship News yet? I went over it a little bit, Builder, but we haven't... There's not much news today, to be honest. SpaceX really hasn't done much today. The point is that if he had it his way, we would still be flying to the ISS on Soyuz. Yeah, but hold on a second there, man. You can't go barking up a politician's tree if they want to get more jobs for their state. You can't come on. You can't do that. I get it. That what you're saying is a repercussion that probably would have happened. However, I don't like it when people call NASA a jobs program. Like, yeah, no crap. What was the Apollo program? Was that not a jobs program? Is it a jobs program when you don't like it? I'm not saying you came here. I just think it's kind of like that. Okay, we always whine about politicians not doing their job, right? And then this guy's actually fighting for jobs in his district for his constituents, and we get mad at him. Like, I get it. I understand that there is repercussions to this. Absolutely, that's why SLS exists in the first place, right? I'm not trying to piss in anybody's cornflakes here. You know what I mean? I get it. But also, I don't think it's right to be able to get mad at a politician for actually doing their job. I'm kind of neutral, but this quote is the biggest argument I get. Yeah, I got you. Baseball is a jobs program. Don't you dare talk bad about baseball. I'll find you. Hey, Blue. You riding the Doge rocket? I do not have any Dogecoin right now, Blue. Brimo and I sold it a long time ago. We should have, though. I want that damn shop. I want that damn shop, man. So maybe we should. As a person who's very, very well versed in reread, I agree with your assessment, Nelson Aurora. I think being cautiously optimistic is the right move. And man, you have to with politicians. It's our job as citizens, man. We have to. Right? Am I right or am I right? Did you see the op-ed Lori Garver did? Yes, I've seen it. And that's the end of that. That's the end of that conversation. You bet on Sato? No way, Hellfish. Get me for president? Yeah, that'd be fine. I'm in on that. Your opinion on the language debacle. Audrey, do I want to know? I don't know what that is, and I'm gonna pull a Parks and Rec meme. I don't know what the language debacle is, and at this point I'm too afraid to ask. I don't want to know. With Homer Hickam? Are you talking about the one with the intern? The girl spouting off on Twitter, yeah, about getting a job at NASA. That happened a long time ago, Audrey. I think that's funny. She didn't get fired. That girl didn't get fired. No. Yeah, no, that intern, she didn't get fired, but it was still funny. Yeah, that was a good while ago, Audrey. But yeah, no, the girl didn't get canned. I know that for a fact. I mean, I follow Homer on Twitter. He's one of my personal heroes. He's a very candid gentleman. Yeah. I mean, who isn't on Twitter nowadays, you know? Only brought to your attention yesterday. So, Audrey, what happened with that story is that those tweets went down, right? And the girl realized who she was talking to, like, later, and promptly deleted all the tweets, right? And then everybody saw the deleted tweets, and then somebody made up a story about her getting canned. Yeah, no, somebody made that up. I don't know where that story came from. I mean, it is kind of funny. It is kind of funny. You just told a NASA advisory council member to... Okay. Yeah, no, I don't know where the fired story came from. I think somebody Tumblred the hell out or something. But yeah, no, I know, like, I remember reading that girl's tweets later, and she's like, no, I apologized, everything is cool, I still work at NASA. I'm pretty dang sure. Still funny. Still funny. I got a job at NASA, frick you! Hey, watch your language. No, frick you! What? Ducal, I'm fairly confident that that's how that went down. Hi, by the way. Beans. Hi, how are you? Okay. ULA did a thing on Atlas V's fairings. They're built in Harlingen, Texas. That's actually way down south, if I'm remembering right. They showed them putting a fairing together for Seaburst 5. Space-based infrared satellite constellation. It'll launch on an Atlas V. This is an Atlas V 400 series fairing. I didn't know that these fairings were still made out of aluminum. I mean, it makes sense, but that's truly that fairing's truly old school. Hand-painted logo on the 400. Semper Vigilantis. That's sick. That's sick. That's sick. Yeah, that's pretty dope. Cool. And just as we're talking about ULA and NASA contracts last night, what is this? Dude, that thing on the rocket ship yesterday still made me really happy. That was really cool. Anyway, what do we got here? Hey, Jay, for the KSC viewing, should I bring a chair or do they have seats set up in the north area? Bring a chair, B-Money. It's like going to the beach if you're going to Playa Linda. And B, I forget if it was you that I was talking to about this. People are starting to go back and do things nowadays. So B, I forget if it was you, but if you're going down for a first rocket launch, don't film it. Take some pictures of the rocket before, and, you know, take some pictures of yourself of the rocket. But when the rocket launches, if it's your first rocket launch, and B, once again, I don't know if I was telling you this or not. This is just a blanket statement for anybody. Your first rocket launch that you go to, put your phone in your damn pocket and just enjoy it. Trust me, you're going to remember it for the rest of your life. Because you've never seen anything like it. Don't film it. Don't ruin it by filming it. Go back another time and film another rocket. Okay? That was you, B? Alright, cool. Cool. That applies for almost anything in life. Absolutely. Hey, for my capstone project, I work with NASA on a device to test the foam adhesion to the SLS rockets. We couldn't actually make it due to COVID, but we mathed it out and made a sick CAD model. That's cool, Spartan fan. So you worked with a Sophie. Nice. That's awesome. That's cool, man. Foam adhesion is probably something you'd want to make sure that works correctly. I mean, you don't need to worry about it falling off and hitting much, but also you need that propellant to stay cold. Hydrogen. Spartan, one of the things I tell people here is how much of a pain in the butt hydrogen is. It really sucks. They have one device from the 80s and needed new ones. Cool, man. That's awesome. Yeah, entropy, true that. So that's why I said, like, take a picture of yourself with a rocket or something, or take a picture of the rocket so you can show people. Don't take a picture of it launching. Yeah, go find John Krause's or Trevor's or Brady Keniston's photos or Kyle Montgomery, anybody. I could give you a slew of photographers that all take fantastic freaking pictures. I'll find you a picture of the launch. You enjoy it, though. Trust me on that one. And yes, it's on a beach. Bring a beach chair. So all those first-timers that saw Ares 1X didn't film it, did the right thing. Can we have, like, an EJ bingo? EJ Space News bingo? And just different topics. So, like, Ares 1 is a topic, $30 billion is a topic, SLS is a topic, Falcon 9, Starship, like, and just see who gets bingo. Ares 1 will be the bingo. Oh my goodness. I'll get on it. Please no, don't do that. Sources say as the yeah, because it gets mentioned every time. Oh my god. Anyway, Spartan, that's cool, man. We got, dude. There's some SLS folks around here, Spartan. They don't talk much in chat, but they are around. I know a couple of guys that do thermal. Well, I know one guy that does thermal. I know another guy that works on the EUS somewhere. I don't know what he does. He won't say. Not that I've asked. I don't really ever bother to ask. Beren versus Shuttle. Oh God. Rocket science. Pointy end up, flamey end down. I see you're a Tim Dodd fan. I too am a Tim Dodd fan. Why you haven't Discord? What do you mean, Monica? I have a huge Discord server. There's like, how many people are in that damn server? There's 848 people in the Discord. Wow, I never really bothered to even look. Yeah, exclamation point oh, somebody already did it. Okay. We can ID the SLS guys because they're sitting on huge stacks of cash. Oh, Soapbox, I want to hit you in the face really freaking hard right now. Did I miss Space News? No, we're still going. I applied for a job at the Cape the other day and just got word that I haven't been turned down yet. Ooh. Okay, I joined. All right. I, too, is a Tim Dodd fan. I see what you did there, Rocket Guy. Cool. They had Lockheed make them and can't source the parts anymore. Interesting. Huh. Cool. I'm there and I never bothered to look as well. Ozzy, that's literally the first time. That's 848 online. Who knows how many freaking members it has. I've never bothered to even check. Dude, is it bad if I'm quite literally scared to like do an @everyone on that Discord? I will never do that. I don't want to bother everybody. You know? I don't want to bother everyone. Like, should I do an @everyone and be like, hey, the start time is now, or hey, look at this tweet? I don't want to do that. No, I don't want to piss everybody off. I'll just post it in general. You suppose the first thing the new Nerva team does is go over all the data and notes from the original Nerva? I'm not very active in the Discord. I usually just throw links at EJ. Audrey, it doesn't bother me. Audrey, if you remember, well, you do remember this. The only reason I have the Discord is because chat got up my butt about having a Discord. And I'm like, all right, what do? I don't know what to do. Do be scared. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna inconvenience everybody's day. You guys ever go into Discords and they literally @everyone like once a day and they're like, hey, we're doing this now. It's like, leave. Have you been to KSC for a launch? Of course. Ryan? Yeah. Here. Want to see? I'm about to flex. Ryan, I'm sorry. I'm going to use this to flex. And I'm not trying... I swear I'm not trying to brag, but I'm very proud of these pictures. We'll just leave it at that. Where the heck is it? Here we go. Is that close enough? Hey, Boo. Ryan, is that close enough for you? Don't think I took that picture? How about that? That close enough? Pretty good. Dude, look at the beard, man. Wow, short hair EJ. That's weird. Who is that? It's not me. It's not mullet EJ. Dad, I have a question. Fake. A mullet's better? Alright. Noted. I have more if you want to see. I've been down there a couple of times. Photoshop. Why don't you shut up? Wait, what? Where's the pictures from KSC? They should be on the Imgur album somewhere. Ah, there they are. Yes, there they are. This is my favorite. Ryan, how about that one? Oh, whatever, O-Force. Everybody has their own way of doing things. Oh, hey, what's up, Ernok? Guess where that picture is? Wait, you're the ULA sniper? No, never do that. Airborne, it's on my list of things to do, my brother. Don't you worry. You can see all the launches from your house. Cool. You know what this is, right? You know what that picture is, right? Here, maybe I can get your noggin jogging a little bit. How about that picture? You know what that is, right? I've got the sense of humor for it. Oh, I don't know. You know what? I don't know if that's a compliment or not, but it's all right. Who's that ugly guy? Someone that doesn't have a mullet. Those pictures would be better if I did have a mullet. Yep. It's the mobile launcher. Yes, that's SLS's mobile launcher. Yeah. Really wish I could show you all the pictures from that trip, but yeah. I can't. One more. There's one more. I'll show you one more. So how about this one? Anybody know what that is? Yeah, it's 6. They have the flight readiness review. Underexposed? Well, there's that Florida sun. They don't call it the sunshine state for no reason. I can't see a face. Okay. So that's that. Of course, potato. That's the first Falcon 9 that ever landed, guys. That's 1019. And that's the Orbcomm 2 mission. I saw the first Falcon 9 landing. I was there. How come New Shepard can land successfully, no problems the last few years, but Elon's having such a hard time with Starship? You'd have a better answer than me when asked by others. That was Complex 40. That picture was taken on December 19th, 2015. Yes, I know the exact date. Because December 22nd, 2015 was the first time someone landed an orbital rocket booster. And it scrubbed. So, Boo, okay. You ever done a bottle flip? Remember how the kids liked that for a while, where you flip the bottle and you try to land it? Remember that? Turns out that gets really difficult with rocket engines. So, okay. One of the things that you have to understand, all right? New Shepard, and once again, I said this yesterday, I said this during the launch. New Shepard, all right? So let's compare. That's probably a better place to start, okay? Oh yeah, Entropy. You've never seen anything like a Falcon 9 come back and land. It is the strangest thing you'll ever see. The only thing that would be stranger is 2 boosters landing or that. That is the strangest thing I've ever seen in my life. I've never seen anything do that ever. It's ridiculous. I want to see that in real life at some point. But, Boo, you have New Shepard over here and you have Starship over here. They both go up, they both come down. One has a lot of trouble landing, and the other one seems to have landed pretty much 14 out of 15 times. Jeff Bezos also said it's time in regards to Blue Origin yesterday. So I'm fairly confident that the next New Shepard flight is going to have people aboard, which is really, really cool. So, compare and contrast, if you will. New Shepard is a suborbital tourism and atmospheric demonstration rocket. Okay? It is a single stage with a pod on top. Goes up, separates a pod, comes back down. It's hydrolox, so it's using liquid hydrogen, liquid oxygen, and it has a BE3 using a tap-off cycle, or a BE3U using a tap-off cycle and deep throttle capability to come down and land. Also, for the people that don't know, New Shepard uses TRN, since NS-14, the last 2 New Shepard flights have used terrain relative navigation. Now, if you're a space fan and you know a little bit about the Mars landing, you'd know that the sky crane that landed Perseverance and Ingenuity on the surface of Mars was using terrain relative navigation. TRN is essentially a downward-facing camera attached to a piece of software that's designed to analyze the data of the landing site in real time, find a soft spot to land, and place stuff down there. New Shepard is using that. They're using that to test out national team's landing system capabilities for the moon. New Shepard is flown with TRN. So it comes down and it lands. Boo, long story short, New Shepard is basically staying up and down the entire time. It doesn't do this, it doesn't do this, it doesn't do that. The rocket goes up, and then it comes right back down. Right? Starship, on the other hand, goes up, and you notice how Starship has had no problems with the going up part, save for a couple of leaks here and there. And then it kind of stops, hovers in the air for a second, goes one way, shuts the engine off, and then goes like that, right? Falling down like this, and then it flaps the wings, turns over, ignites the engines, and lands, right? Just like that. Now, remember how I said bottle flip? That's amongst other things. That's really the thing. Okay, so what happens when you bottle flip something? Your propellants start sloshing around, right? Even if they're all staying in one area, they still start sloshing around. And you got to remember, SpaceX is igniting the engines while Starship is horizontal. So if you have a bottle of water, right, and you have it like this, and then you try to bottle flip it, all the water is going to be on the bottom, and it's going to take a second for all that water to move to the back, and then flip and land correctly. New Shepard is a little bit easier to land. Now, don't get me wrong, landing any rocket, suborbital, orbital, it does not matter. Landing any rocket is very difficult. That is a really hard thing to do. Rocket engines don't like hovering there like that. It's really easy to overheat a rocket engine doing that. Starship is basically sloshing those propellants around. It's moving all over the place. That is a new thing, okay? It's a new thing, amongst other things. On top of that, Starship is using literally one of the most, if not the most complicated rocket engine ever devised by man. Raptors are insanely complicated, especially compared to that BE-3U tap-off cycle engine. They're very, 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 very simple comparatively. Even then, the tap-off cycle from the BE-3U, which is very, very impressive, is still pretty damn complicated. And you got to remember, we're talking relative. So, in terms of difficulty level, we're not at easy, we're not at normal, we're not at heroic, we're not at legendary, we're at legendary with skulls on. Alright? For the Halo fans. You know what I'm talking about. We're up here. And this is, in that subset, you know, the difficulty is in there. Blue Origin is very secretive until New Shepard had good tests. I'm not sure what that's supposed to mean, but alright. Can New Shepard be scaled up? New Shepard is about learning stuff, but the FRR Media teleconference is coming up, okay. So, Boo, long story short, the propellant sloshing isn't the biggest thing. That's where SpaceX is having problems right now. They had methane ingestion on an engine. They lost header tank pressure on another one. The real easy way to say it, if you're talking to a normie, right? If you're talking to somebody who's not well versed in spaceflight, is that, so I like, if somebody asks me a question, to answer that question, I usually ask them a poignant question back to try and get the gears turning. So here's what I would do. If you have a conversation with somebody and they're like, why is it so easy for Blue Origin to land and not SpaceX? All you have to do is go back to them and say, have you ever seen anybody try to do what Starship is doing ever with any rocket? And then they'll be like, huh. No, I haven't. Well, there's your reason. That is really difficult to do, man. We're in uncharted territory. I don't think you guys, if you're growing up with this right now, you're younger, dude, you know, this is, you want to know what, like, cutting edge for me was when I was growing up? Like, I remember reading about this thing in Popular Mechanics and stuff. All right? Never mind Starship, all right? This was like, oh, back in the day. Watch this thing. Here, let's get to the good stuff. I mean, the space shuttle was BAMF, but in terms of, like, watching rockets being tested and stuff... I didn't read about this in 1993. I read about it in the library in, like, 98, 99 or something. It had been canceled by then. Like, this was like, oh my god, they got it to hover, you know? Starship makes this thing look stupid. Right, Jim? That 480p analog. Can New Shepard be scaled up? Chief, I don't think... And the thing landed and it tipped over. Spoiler alert. And then the project got canceled after that. Hilarious. Chief, I don't think that New Shepard in itself and its design can be scaled up. What I think Blue Origin did was pick out a rocket. And it's very kind of apparent. I think they picked out a rocket that taught them how to do a lot of complicated things. Landing a booster, for instance. Human rating a capsule. You know, hydrolocks, which is not easy to do. I think that taught them everything they needed to know to try and go and build something like New Glenn. The media teleconference following the flight readiness review is now targeted for 6:30. Oh, it got delayed. Of course NASA's gonna delay it. We have to do the... Dude, I'm ready to do the Luna 4 mission today, and I'm kind of like... Never failed in flight. It fell over because someone forgot to connect the hydraulics to one of the legs during processing. Oh, that hurts so much more. Yeah, Bill. I mean, yeah. The shuttle was nuts, dude. The shuttle was nuts. You know, you didn't really realize what you had until it was gone. And in case you weren't having a bad enough day already, nah, I'm good, man. Guys, I've been trying not to be as much of a stick in the mud lately. You know? But, yeah. I think just enjoy this. Enjoy that we can sit here and there's new stuff to talk about with space every day. Literally every day. To the point where it takes long periods of time. And literally there's so much stuff happening in actual space that I don't need to... What I was about to say is that I don't need to play Kerbal to make up for it. But, I mean, I still do. And that's not... What I was referring to in the context of that statement, that sounds pretty bad at face value. It sounds like I don't want to play KSP, which I assure you is not the case. Dude, I've been actually looking forward to Luna. I got everything done last night. I'm really happy. We're up on the timeline for once, so I'm pretty pumped on that one. What I mean is that 2013, 2014, guys, if I wasn't doing space news then, we'd just talk about what's going on like in chat while I was playing KSP. Dude, if I did a space news a day back then, maybe 15, 20 minutes of updates at best. Oh, Proton failed. Oh, Antares failed. Like, that's it. There's not much. There was not much to talk about. SLS, like, it was vaporware at that point. I mean, I'm not expecting flight hardware in 2013 from a program that started in 2012. That's kind of dumb. But, yeah, floating down. Dude, I personally didn't realize... I didn't realize how much the space shuttle actually meant to me and how much I cherished that thing until until July 11th, 2011. I distinctly remember the picture. I'm trying to find the rollout picture. There's a picture of Atlantis rolling out on the runway the morning after the mission. And boy, did that... it hit home. I'm like, no. No. Oh, yep, here it is. It's something like this. And God, did that piss me off. Hey, RG, thanks for the raid. A lot of online communities died with the shuttle. Pray... I watched SDS 133, 34, and 35. And keep in mind, this was before I started streaming. And yeah, see, this too. That just really bummed me out.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
I still will say this, and I will die on this hill, that is a nice, reliable, routine piece of kit right there. It's a hell of a machine. Hellfish, it's a dynamic environment. You try to regiment stuff with the stream, people will fight you on it. Like fighting me on deadlines, like you guys did that one time. You just kind of have to go with the flow. There's really no other way to get around it. Unless I want to spend 6 hours every day preparing for a 6-hour stream and having a tightly regimented show like TMRO or something. Not saying TMRO is bad, or like NSF Live. I don't want to do that. I'm here to teach people about space, and I don't want to waste time off stream trying to find more potent ways to do that. The best way to do it is to jump in here and find the best way to do it. Does that make sense? I watched the Freedom 500. Yeah, frickin' Vice Grip, dude. Derek was leading. He was gonna win until frickin'... And pulled a you? Pulled a me? Screw you, Ernok. Alright, RG. Thanks for the raid, man. What's good night? Bon night? Night? Bon night? Bom night, I think is how you say it. I forget, dude. RG, I'm getting rusty. That's no good. Perfeito. Sim. Obrigado. Ciao. EJ, just have fun and enjoy what you're doing. Yeah, failure. I got you. A little bit out of place, but what do you think of this build? For a McDoodles? You want to make a McDoodle, or does it have a McDoodles billboard on it? I like it. I like that. Supercraft? Yeah. Have fun. All right, man. Dance for your bits. At this point, the shuttle's statistically more reliable than Falcon 9. Pray, were you here the other day when I did a cost breakdown on the shuttle versus Falcon 9? Now, the gist of it is that the shuttle is still more expensive than the Falcon 9, like in terms of like if you're comparing apples to apples capability. And I always compare launch cost. I don't compare total cost involved because I don't know SpaceX's TCI. I know launch cost for both rockets, right? You know, you have to grade it on the same scale, but public is a different scale than private, right? The gist of it is that the shuttle was a little bit more expensive. I think we ended up figuring out that it was like maybe $100 million more expensive per launch. But that's compounding all the launches. So what I did, Pray, was I compared what the shuttle can move into space. 7 people, 25 tons of cargo. How many Falcon 9s and Dragons are you going to need to do that? And I took SpaceX's prices for commercial crew. And I took SpaceX's prices taking into account reused boosters for cargo missions. You want 2 Falcon 9s. You'd need 2 Falcon 9 cargo, 2 Falcon 9 crew. Crew Dragon and everything, say you're reusing the booster and whatnot, is about $100 million a pop. So $200 million here. All right. And then reuse Falcon 9 with the cargo fairings and everything. So let's just... I even rounded down with Falcon 9 to give it the benefit of the doubt. $40 million a pop. So you have $280 million a pop to match, and 4 launches to match what the shuttle does in 1 launch. All right? So 280 million versus about 420 million in change. Yeah, the shuttle in the end of 2011 cost about 400 million, 450 million to launch it. That was the price per launch. The thing about this stuff, guys, is that it fluctuates depending on what the shuttle was doing. If it was going to the space station, you know, the mission might be more. If you need more people on the shuttle, you can fly with 4, you can fly with 2, you can fly with 7. So I took a median, which was, I think, 450. So 2 Falcon 9s with Dragons if 4 people aboard, right? And 2 cargo Falcon 9s. Now, don't get me wrong. Falcon 9's still cheaper. Of course it's cheaper. But it's not that much cheaper when you compare it like total capability, right? Okay? So this one over here, SpaceX, is 280 mil, give or take. And keep in mind, these are napkin numbers. I didn't really go into a huge CBA on it, you know? 280 million, 450 million. Now, so what are we talking about here in terms of a deficit? Sorry, I had this number off the top of my head, but I'm using the calculator just to make sure that I get it right. I know I'm pathetic. So we have a $170 million difference. Now, what can the shuttle do that Falcon 9 can't? Shuttle has 12-ton down mass capability, and the shuttle is reusable. So are Dragons, to be fair, right? But even after total cost and refurbishment with the space shuttle, it's still $450 million to launch. That's taking into account rebuilding the RS-25s, taking the whole thing apart, putting it all back together, inspecting all the tiles, etc., etc. So that $170 million difference is not that much in the scheme of things. And the shuttle is an infinitely more capable vehicle in low Earth orbit than Falcon 9 is. Once again, I'm not even including Falcon Heavy. The reason why I did and thanks for the bits, guys. The reason why I did this cost-benefit analysis, guys, is because we were talking about in context whether the shuttle, if the shuttle was, like, if NASA had privatized the shuttle program, if they had basically said that we want to spin off the shuttle into a commercial provider, and now you're running the shuttle like a business, which probably wasn't the best idea. But if you did want to do that, like, could you theoretically get the costs down? And it basically came to the conclusion that, oh yeah, of course you could get the costs down. You'd need to scale, though. You would need to scale with the shuttle. You need more shuttles flying a lot more, and then that $170 million per launch deficit could easily be overcome. Easily. I mean, the conclusion with that whole thing, though, either way, is that the shuttle is, oh yeah, it's always more expensive. But is a semi-truck more expensive than a Jeep? Yeah, absolutely. Why? So why do people buy a semi-truck? Well, it does more. It can do more things. You can't tow with a Jeep. Well, you can, but you can't tow as much as with a Peterbilt. You know what I mean? That's right, Thron. Yeah, it doesn't have a Canadarm. They can't do satellite servicing. You can't fix stuff. You can't go and bring stuff down. Satellite servicing is one of the biggest things that we lost from the space shuttle, and we still haven't gotten it back. They're working on it. Dream Chaser could do it because it has an airlock. No other capsule has an airlock on board. That's another thing we lost. Now, all that capability, being able to go to space stations, being able to build space stations, being able to service satellites, being able to bring satellites down and put them back up. Does that capability make up for that $170 million deficit? I absolutely think that it does. Oh yeah, I'll take the shuttle, thank you very much. Now, if you bring Falcon Heavy into the fold, then it gets a little bit different. Falcon Heavy, it basically ruins that argument completely. And then Starship, don't even get me started with that.
Discovery,
if that thing can do what Elon says it's going to do, then yeah, shuttle what? Shuttle who? You know what I mean? Private company wouldn't be scared to not rebuild everything every launch campaign. That's the only way they could... That's the only way they ensure that the RS-25s would be reliable every time, Hellfish. And that came from infrequency of launch. Falcon 9 does have a super cool Lego. Falcon 9 doesn't have a super cool Lego set. That's true. Waluki, 34-month resub. Couldn't Orion also service satellites? With what airlock? Linprod. Please fill shuttle rant on your bingo cards. This isn't a shuttle rant. It's just me crunching numbers, Rocket Guy. NASA designed the shuttles in the 70s expecting a mass market for space, not a stagnant market completely dependent on existence of the vehicle itself. And Prey, that's a larger thing that I kind of touch base on sometimes. Spaceflight demand is sinusoidal because satellites have a service life, right? So demand spikes and then it goes down, and then it spikes and it goes down. It's like an EKG. Doot, doot. Every 10 to 15 years it spikes. It spiked in 2017, in 2018, and now it's going back down. Look, if SpaceX wasn't launching Starlink, how many times would SpaceX have launched this year? Twice? 3 times? A couple of Dragon missions? That's it. I mean, Lumprod, if we were going to send Orion out to depress an asteroid, I would have it launch on an SLS Block 1 with an airlock and a service module and a HAB module inside of the Universal Stage Adapter. So you launch it at the asteroid, Orion plucks an inflatable module off of the back of the EUS, or it stays on and the whole thing flies as a spaceship out to an asteroid. That's how I'd do it, but I don't think leaving anyone in an Orion capsule for, like, more than a week is a good idea. That's not a good idea. SpaceX is creating its own demand, Chief, and that's why Elon Musk is really damn smart. He made his, like, he's like, okay, I have a rocket that can be launched very frequently, but there's not much demand for it. So how do I make demand? Well, what can I do that other people can't? Internet satellites. Boom. Done. Smart. It's a really good idea. But once again, that feeds into a larger thing. Like, do you build a rocket in anticipation of demand? Or do you build a rocket thinking that the demand will come if you build a rocket? That's, if I knew the answer to that question, I wouldn't be here and I would be a figure on someone's Twitch stream, you know? I thought it was going to go deeper than the way you were firing it up. I love the shuttle, man. I love it. Going back to what we were talking about, this image and the image of it on the freaking not that one. That's my offline screen. Where is it? They're completing closeout on the vehicle on the runway. That picture. Oh man, we didn't realize what we had until it was gone. It really sucked. And you know what the messed up part is? Congress actually tried to save the stupid thing. They tried to save it. They really did. STS-135 was not on the books. It was not an assembly mission. The shuttle didn't install any new modules on 135. And they only had 4 people on the launch. So if something happened with the shuttle, the crew members, because there was no shuttle to go up and rescue them, because all the 2 other shuttles were decommissioned, Discovery and Atlantis were decommissioned, they only put 4 people on STS-135. So if something went wrong with the shuttle, they'd just leave the shuttle on the station and stay there, and then they'd come down on Soyuz. True story. Congress doing something good for once. Yeah. I mean, Congress even now fights for SLS, guys. One of my, 5666, that bill from the House that I really enjoyed, that has Moon to Mars and Nerva and all this other awesome stuff on it, is freaking, I think Kendra Horn made that. She's a rep from Oklahoma, if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, hey, Congress will always do that. That's what they want. They want a bigger space program. That's what they're fighting for. That's why they do that. It's the only reason NASA still exists. You know, it's true. I mean, Thrawn, I wouldn't have complained, but yeah, that would have sucked. The shuttle wouldn't have been able to stay there long term. Thrawn, the shuttle could plug in to the ISS and shut its fuel cells off. It could do that. If it needed to stay up there for a while, but there's consumables on the shuttle that I'm pretty sure it's just so ridiculously complicated. Like if a micrometeorite poked the hole in the radiators, the shuttle would have to leave. But you're right. The shuttle wasn't unreliable. Sure, they got lucky in many of the early flights, but sometimes in a program so ambitious, you just got to send hope and improve. I mean, pray. My thing with the shuttle is that they tested the shuttle using a similar testing regime to the Saturn V. They tested the shuttle like a rocket and not like an airplane. But the reason that they did that is because they didn't have the funding to do it. You skimped on funding during development, and you got a half-tailed project. You build a house with a crappy foundation, you're going to have to go back and end up spending thousands of more dollars going and fixing the stupid foundation when you should have done it right the first time. I mean, once again, that's super easy for me to say in hindsight. Like, obviously, I can see it in hindsight. It would be difficult to predict at the time. But yet we're here right now in 2021, and HLS's first round of funding got drastically underfunded, so that's good. That's good. Have you heard the Car Talk episode where the astronaut called in? Yeah, John Grunsfeld called in. He's like, yeah, it's a government van. And it just, the engines start for a little while, for like 8 minutes, and then it just stops. Yeah, John Grunsfeld. I have his autograph. My mother met him at a business meeting one time. I totally forget what it was for and why. But yeah, in my room at home, I have his autograph. I found it the other day. That was like 8 months ago. Glory to Glorzo. Yeah, right. Yeah, victory, kind of. Yeah. I've never talked to John Grunsfeld myself, Bill, but I talked to the guy that serviced the Hubble Space Telescope with him on STS-125. Talked to Mike Massimino many times. Really nice guy. Frey, let me finish reading what you're reading. Surely they got lucky in many of the... Those horror stories of sky-high probabilities of failure analysis of flights that operated outside normal conditions, which happened a lot. Yeah, so given all the shuttles following 170 probability to nearly exactly over its lifetime are actually quite impressive. See, Pray, here's where I'm at. Like, with the shuttle, okay? And we gotta get going soon. You had your Lego Discovery yet? I did on stream, Twitching. I got it 2 days after it came out. I overnighted it to my house. Yeah, I built it. Dude, it took like 10 hours. That shuttle is deceptively complicated. The thing with the shuttle for me, Prey, is that they... Dude, there's no way NASA... Like... Any well-versed engineer at NASA would know that if the thing is not, if the SRB blow-by is happening, you know, the way that story always gets told is that NASA was like, nah, it's fine. But it's not like there weren't case studies into this before the shuttle program. Apollo 13 is a great example of cascading failure and saying, meh, it's fine. It's not like they didn't know that this could happen. Normalization of deviance, right? Yeah, that became a buzzword after Challenger, right? Or a buzz phrase, I should say. I firmly believe in my mind is that they didn't have the money to fix the stupid thing. Like, the more and more I think about it nowadays, they didn't have the money to fix it. That's the problem. And that all goes back to skimping on development. I just don't think they had the freaking money to fix the damn thing. Because, think about it, if they went there and they had to requalify the SRBs, that would have downed the shuttle program for like 2 years. Funny story, it ended up getting down by 2 years anyway, but... I just read that it was Bill Nelson who pushed for STS-135. Yeah, Thrawn, interesting, huh? You know, it's interesting to me. I'm like... There's no way no one, and we heard about the Thiokol engineers that were like, this is a problem, this is a problem, this is a problem. And if the engineers are coming to you and saying that this is a problem, right? You know, like, there's no way everyone at NASA was like, oh yeah, no, it's fine, don't worry about it. Like, it launched, it was good. Does that sound like NASA to you? That doesn't sound like NASA to me, even at the time. And maybe I wasn't there, so I don't know. That just doesn't sound right. That's still that's how that story always gets told. And I've read the Rogers Commission many times, which is the Accident Investigation Board for Challenger. That just doesn't sound right. Yeah, someone signed off on those launches, K-Mir, which is not, I mean... K-Mir, that honestly tells me that they were getting pressure from somewhere else. Where? We'll probably never know. Watch the Netflix doc? That Netflix doc sucks. That documentary sucks. No, I'm not going on a rant about it. Go read the Rogers Commission if you want to figure out why. Their conclusions in the documentary were stupid. It's very clear to me that the people that wrote that documentary read the wiki page about Challenger and then said, I'm going to make a documentary about this. They didn't read the Rogers Commission. It's pretty blatant. They didn't even bother reading the accident investigation. They just kind of read the wiki page, and I'm an expert now. Oh, well, that's delayed for an hour, Phil. Nice. I've had customers that just push for inadequate solutions. Price, lead time, just want a bargain. It's that type of thing. Yeah. 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 Well, I feel bad to read a Wikipedia page. Wikipedia pages aren't bad, Thrawn, but you gotta double check. You gotta double check the source. Just figure out what the wiki page is citing. Go to the bottom of the page, see also down there, and see sources, and figure out what they're citing. There's nothing wrong with reading Wikipedia. That's fine. Doesn't sound like any engineer. We got ethics classes yearly, and it just feels wrong. I mean, Steven, the ethics classes, engineering ethics classes cite challengers, so that tells me that it could be a byproduct of doing that. But there's plenty of case studies where they almost lost. Like, dude, Apollo 13. You know, for all the bad stuff that happened, they got home. That should have been a pretty good indicator of why you shouldn't normalize deviance amongst. I mean, Apollo 1 as well. You know, like, it's not like NASA didn't already have that lesson taught to them in blood at that point, which is just it's interesting. It's interesting to me. Yeah, floating, redundant, dissimilar would be a good idea. But yeah, just interesting stuff to talk about. Anyway, I think that's all. I think that's all for space news. I think we're good. The flight readiness review is happening here. Yeah, Farm, there you go. The horror stories of sky have probability of failure are analysis of flights that operated outside nominal conditions, which happened far too many times. Yeah, 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 no, for sure. Oh yeah, I wrote an ethics report of a company faking heat pump tech so they could get a bank loan for a few million. Yeah, I know, right? That's a great picture, Ian. Nice. Was there a subsequent firing spree after the Apollo 13 investigation? I don't think so. I don't think anybody got fired from any of NASA's disasters. One, it's really difficult to get fired from any public entity. That's really difficult. But that's kind of an opinion thing. Second part of it, Victory, is that it's really nobody's fault. That's the thing. These are engineering lessons, dude. And it's what Prey was saying a little bit earlier, dude. How the hell do you know that? Like, how do you know? And it's this weird kind of thing. And as someone who was brought up in, not brought up in this day and age, but even, kids brought up in this day and age are afraid to take risks, right? And I was no different. Like, I still have to fight the anxiety of, like, from time to time. Like, as you get older, you just learn not to care. And you just zone that stupid voice out in your head that's like, oh, what if you screw up? What if you screw up? Who cares? All right, whatever. Well, you still, like, dude, you still have to fight against risk. You fight against freaking risk. And, like, the thing is, you're not going to know what to fix unless you go and try it and it failed. How are you going to know what needs to be fixed on a system? Like, how would SpaceX know? Like, how could SpaceX test this without actually launching a Starship? That's impossible. That would take years of analysis to get that right. Years of analysis, years of testing, billion-dollar test stands, literally Apollo program budget here to get that done with test stands. Or you could just put one on the pad and fire it and see what happens. Yeah, you lose a couple $1 million there if it crashes. It's cheaper than a test stand. You got to go out and you got to take risks, and that's the only way we can find these failures. So, like with Apollo 13, the guy dropped the O2 tank. But it's not like he dropped it and put it in the thing. They inspected it, but they couldn't open the thing up. How are you going to open up? That's like opening up a propane tank and being like, "Yep, everything's good in here." What are you going to do? Weld it back together? That's even more failure. That's changing it even more. You know what I mean? The only way to really, really get around this problem is to spend the R&D. Do your research, do your homework, and or just throw it on there and not be afraid to fail. And Starship has the R&D behind it, and they're doing this type of iterative testing on top of that, which is really good. But I was taught that failure is the worst thing that could happen. It's not. You're not going to be like super good at something your first try. I wish. That would be really nice. If that was the case, I would have met my lunar deadlines very easily, That's just kind of how it plays out. But yeah, just interesting stuff to turn around there. Anyway, so we are crew launches to the moon. The Lunar 4 mission. This is mission mode. Part 128, I believe, is what we're on. Yeah, that's right, floating. You gotta have a little bit of struggle. If you just succeed at everything the first time, you won't know what failure is. So when failure happens, you're gonna get really confused.